Hello everyone. So this is the first video I'm doing in the series of me teaching you FOP, Fundamentals of Programming. To the people who doesn't know what is FOP, it's basically everything you need to know, all the basic syntax you have to master in Java. So before I start to talk about all the syntax in Java, let me introduce you to some of the basic abstract things in programming. So all these languages, right? Java, Python, and everything, right? It has a hierarchy. So the hierarchy is actually made up of multiple layers, and the top layer is actually made up of high-level languages, and the second layer is actually made up of assembly language, and the third, or the bottom layer, is actually made up of machine language. So what are the differences between these layers, right? So if you look at it, the more bottom you go, the more closer the language is with the machine code. Okay, what is machine code? Okay, machine code is made up of sequence of bits. So what are bits? So 10 10 0 0 0 1 0. This is an example of a sequence of bits. Each digit 1, 0, and 1 is considered a bit. So this sequence of bits is actually made up of 8 bits. So the more uh, bottom you go in the hierarchy, the more closer the language is with machine code, and the more uh, as you go higher, the language is more close to the language that we speak every day, like English, which means the high level languages like Python and Java is more similar to English than you compare assembly language. So that's the purpose of me using this hierarchy. So let's talk about machine language, right? So let's say there's a processor, and maybe it's i3 core Intel. So it doesn't really understand English. So I can't go to the processor and tell, hey, can you add 2 with 5? Uh, it doesn't really understand what language I'm speaking, because the only language the processor speak is machine language, and machine language is basically made up of these sequence of bits. So instead of telling, hey, can you add 2 with 5, I tell 1011 1111 000, and the computer or the processor will take this, you feed this instruction or the sentence in machine language into this processor, and the processor will understand the sequence of bits and give you an output. So it will understand this sequence of bits as, oh, you mean add 2 with 5? Okay, then it will say take 2 and add the 5 with it and give you an output of 7. This is machine language that only processors use. So if you want to talk with a processor, you need to know machine language. But if you write a program, every single program in machine language, it won't be really practical to build any complex programs. So that's why we use a thing called assembly language. So assembly language, right, is a bit closer to English. Let me give you an example. Okay, add 5 7 sub 7 5 multiply 1 5. And obviously it might be a bit um, not understandable, but it's actually very simple. Add means add, literally add, and sub means subtract or minus, and MPY is basically means multiply or multiply. So what you are kind of asking the processor to do is, can you add 5 with 7, or maybe can you add 7 with 5, sorry, can you subtract 5 from 7, or maybe can you multiply 1 with 5? So this language is a bit more understanding uh, in our perspective, but still the machine doesn't really understand assembly language. So in order to change whatever you wrote in assembly language to machine language, you need a program or a software called assembler. So the job of an assembler is it will take all these instructions and it will change it into machine language, which will be fed into this processor. As an example, let's say it will take this instruction and it will change it into 10111 and 00111, and it will take this and feed this into this processor. So this is assembly language, but if you see, right, um, the number of options that we have, or the number of operations that we have to write here, is actually kind of limited. We have like add, we have maybe subtract, maybe multiply, maybe division, you have load, but it's very limited. So even to write a simple program like add is a bit hard. Like, let me give an example. Load R1 1, load R2 2, and add R3 R1 R2. If you don't understand it, it's okay, but basically this instruction means you asking the processor, can you add 1 plus 1 with 2? That's what you're asking the processor to do. So it's a very simple thing, but you need 3 instructions. So first of all, it's very long even to write a simple program in assembly language. Second, it's very machine dependent. Machine dependent. So what do I mean by that? So let's say I write this code, right? Um, Let me give you, okay. I write this code, add 5 7, and I feed this into i3 Intel Core. I cannot use the same code and feed it into MacBook or M2 Core. Of course, this actually uses a different operations. Like if I want to give you an example, instead of telling add 5 7, I have to tell add with 1D to the MacBook. The MacBook only understand, or the assembler in the MacBook only understand this thing. It doesn't really understand this add with double D. Only Intel cores understand it. So it's very machine dependent. If you write something in for i3, you cannot take the same code and run it in M2. So there's two problems. First, it's very long, and second, it's very machine dependent. So to kind of solve these problems, we created another language. It's called high level language. These languages, examples of high level languages are Java, Python, PHP, and a lot more. So these languages, right, they can be run in any machine. So if you write a Java code, you can run this in MacBook, you can run this in HP, you can run this in Dell, cause you can run this in any processor. It's not machine dependent, it's independent. And another thing, right, it's easier, if you remember just now I wrote three instructions to just add two numbers, right? But in higher level languages, I will write something like this: int x is equals to 1 plus 2. So in just one sentence or one instruction, I already tell what I have to do or what the processor have to do. So it's uh, you have the ability to write a lot more complex programs, because you have um, a lot more options on what to write. But in assembly language, you only have these limited options like add and multiply and this kind of things. As you learn, if you are learning Java and assembly language, you can clearly see the differences. But if you don't, it's okay. Just think of it as high level languages are more closer to humans, but machines can't really understand it. And it's easier to write a code of a program in high level languages than writing in assembly language. So how do you think this Java code or this high level languages code will be turned into a language that can be understood by machine? Because this Java code, right, that machine can't really understand it. Just like assembly language, it has to turn into something so that the machine can understand it. So these programs, Java or whatever languages used, have to be converted into machine language too, and will be fed into the processor. So what do you think will convert these programs into the machine language? Well, there's two kind of software that you can use. First is compiler, and second is interpreter. So what are the differences between compiler and interpreter? Okay, let me give you an example. Let's say there's a waiter, and the job of the waiter is ask the customers what do they want to eat, and pass the info or pass the request to the chef. So maybe there's two waiters. One waiter will ask all the customers what they want to eat. So let's say this customer want to eat fish, and this customer want to eat pizza, and this customer want to eat fries. So it will take all of this info at first, and then write everything in a paper, and then pass it to the chef. But let's say there's another waiter. Instead of taking all of the requests and writing in a paper, it will take one request. Let's say it will take fish. It will pass it to the chef, and then it will take another request. Let's say it's pizza, and then pass it to the chef, and then it will take another request, which is fries, and then pass it to the chef. So as you can see, the first waiter take everything and then pass it to the chef. The second waiter take one thing, pass it to the chef, and then take the next thing and pass it to the chef. you can think this analogy as what will happen in compiler and interpreter. This is an example of compiler and this is an example of interpreter, where the compiler will, let's say this is the Java program, right? It will take all of these codes, compile it into this machine code, and then feed it into the core. But interpreter will take this Java program, will look at the first line, change it into machine language, and then feed it into the core. After doing that, it will take the second code, second line, and then change it to machine language, and then feed it into the core. And then it will take another line or the next line. So this is called line by line execution. So what's the purpose of the, or what's the benefits of this line by line execution? Well, first of all, if you take for the first line and then you change it into this machine language, let's say there's an error in the first line. Let's say you wrote something wrong. You wrote something wrong, and there's an error, and you know which line has the error, because let's say the error is here at this line, and all of these lines works perfectly fine. So if there's an output on these lines, it will give the output. Whatever you ask it to do here, it will do it, and then it will stop here. So you know which line you have the bug or you have the error. But the disadvantage of this, it will take a longer time compared to compiler. So the compiler, right, let's say you have a error here. Even though there's no error here and you have to do something before you get here, the processor won't execute this whole code. It won't even execute the first one, because it haven't fed into the processor, because the compiler needs to convert everything into machine code before it's being fed. So the compiler haven't even see the first few lines of code, because it haven't even converted into machine language, because the compiler will take everything and change it into machine language. So the disadvantage of this is you cannot see which lines. It is harder to debug, but the advantage of this is faster. It's the interpreter is slower. So that's all from me. That's all for the introduction to Java, and the next classes I will teaching you a lot more about Java and everything. So stay tuned and thank you.